Bungie decided to remove marathon gameplay and art from social networks after receiving serious complaints about intellectual property theft from an independent artist. This is the studio that cost Sony $3,600,000,000. It turns out that he borrowed, which is the polite way of saying he stole artistic content from a digital artist, because yes, and used it in Marathon. That's the main topic of today, accompanied by the return of Red Dead Redemption. Apparently a remaster is coming, something like that. Please, let's take a minute to remember the best chief executive officer of PlayStation of all time, who is without a doubt this old geezer. It's incredible the embarrassment that's happening right now, Bungie with Marathon, no. It's not typical of a studio of this level and much less of a PlayStation studio. These are the two main topics of today's video. But they're not alone, as today is Saturday, and it's time for a diverse news compilation with a bit of everything. So get comfortable because we are about to start. And it all started this Thursday when an independent Scottish artist named Fern Hook commented on Twitter that she had found that parts of her designs and her own art had been directly copied to be part of the designs of Marathon. They are just very small elements, little graphic things and so on. But they were copied as is from several posters and various arts of this artist and were directly put into Marathon. And this lady noticed? Well, just yesterday, Bungie confirmed that there was indeed art theft. And they are reviewing the entire video game to find more elements and things like that and correct them. From Bungie, they did the typical thing of, we're going to blame an intern, supposedly someone who is no longer at Bungie and who was like some kind of intern or something like that. He had taken the art from this artist and put it into designs that Bungie then decided to use. That is, Bungie is not to blame. An intern is to blame. Of course, yes. In the middle of a live stream on Twitch yesterday, the people from Banshee started receiving a lot of very strong comments about all this controversy. It appears that people are quite unsatisfied. Nevertheless, Marathon is still set for release on September 23rd. It doesn't seem like it has been delayed because of all this, far from it. But who knows? Yes, maybe these elements are deeply embedded in the game and all the title's art needs to be reviewed. Maybe the game will end up being delayed, I don't know. For now, we don't know. They say that between this plagiarism, the bad passing of Destiny 2, and the alpha of Marathon, things are not going well. At Bungie, things are worse than ever, in terms of the team's morale. And to all this, we must add that they were also firing people and disintegrating Bungie. Because remember that Sony was taking employees from Bungie and putting them in other groups and so on, because they don't trust Bungie. It's good they didn't trust, because they failed to verify the information. It can happen to a small studio, it can happen to you at home doing a practical work for the university, it can happen to me while designing a thumbnail. But it can't happen to a PlayStation studio. Oh, this is a total disgrace. And more so when the most interesting thing about the video game is the art, because it's what catches the eye. It's where the title wants to get in, through the artistic section, because afterwards, on paper, it's the same as always. An extraction shooter online multiplayer in first person. They will charge around $40 or $50 for it, but the exact price is not set yet. Now is when you put in the comments yes or no. Is Bungie going to end up being a, Conquer 2, yes or no, nothing more, without explanations, just that in the comments? Beautiful people who use Anibus deals. I have good news to tell you because we already have a new discount code on the channel. And the code is May8. A code that will apply an 8% discount to all your purchases on Aniva until June. Look, do you see this super discounted Spider-Man 2 at $50 that you have here on Aniva? Well, you click on it, scroll down to find the best price, and click buy. And when you go to buy it, you tell them you have a discount code and that the code is May8 in uppercase. And you click to apply it. BAM paying $46 for Spider-Man 2, which in PlayStation history is $70. To get to these offers, all you have to do is open any big data video, scroll down to the description where it says games on offer in EVA there and once inside EVA. Are you looking for this second batch of cashback offers on all games? You open it. Ready? Here you have all the offers, including the offer for Spider-Man 2 and many other offers. Like Resident Evil 2, The Evil West for $4. This one is a real bargain. Death Stranding for $30, and many more video games. The Spider-Man 2 deal is very cheap. There aren't many copies on Eneba because they loaded very few of that game. If interested, check out the link in the description. Did the stream die, friends? Warzone Mobile. That's right, Activision announced that Warzone Mobile will be removed from stores and apps this May 18th because the game did not meet the expectations of the mobile market. 45 million records and a premiere that generated $1.4 million, but it wasn't enough. And speaking of mobile trash, Warner doesn't get tired of launching mobile trash. And here they go with another video game. It turns out it's called Detective Comics World Collide, and it's from Detective Comics. A 5-on-5 fight with characters like Batman, Superman, and all those. Well, the game is going to be released on Android, and on iOS, it's going to be free to play, with a lot of microtransactions. Batman games, Warner Batman games, you don't have to do anything else. Mortal Kombat, Harry Potter, and Batman games. That's it. Stop making things up, then we complain because they don't invent new things, but well, not this either. A few days ago, I mentioned that Ubisoft was delaying all their games from 2025 to 2026 and 2027. Well, and in this video, I was telling you that I didn't know exactly how many Assassin's Creed games are being developed right now. Well, it turns out that now we kind of already know. Insider Gaming reports that 9 Assassin's Creed games are currently in development. If you're really interested in the topic, I can make a video about what these 9 Assassin's Creed are, but if you're not interested, I won't do it. About making or not making videos, I have a video prepared for Monday about PlayStation's games as a service. Because the marathon thing isn't the only bad thing that's been happening. More things happened, but I wanted to discuss Nintendo and other topics as well, so I left the PlayStation discussion for Monday to avoid spending the entire video on it. So on Monday, more bad news from Monday. 12 original Nintendo Switch titles are going to receive free updates to optimize their performance on the Nintendo Switch 2. Improvements include high-res graphics, increased smoothness, frames per second, high dynamic range, and new features. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is going to receive improvements in resolution and in the game shade. The Scarlet and Purple Pokemon is going to receive better textures, resolution, and frames per second, with greater stability and all that which suits it very well. The Super Mario World Mass Bowser Fury is going to receive everything, more frames, more resolution, high dynamic range, and a lot of other things. And the same applies to Super Mario Odyssey, which is also going to be updated with everything. A dozen exclusive Nintendo games are going to receive various improvements for the Nintendo Switch 2, free of charge. Perhaps later, when we have more confirmations. I'm making a video telling you all about the Switch games that are going to be improved on Switch 2, because we're still getting information. We're finally going to be able to play Pokemon Scarlet. I've been wanting to play it for a long time, but when I saw how much better it came out, I let it pass. Speaking of Nintendo continues to expand its catalog of classics. And this week they added Killer Instinct Gold to the Nintendo 64 collection. Available on Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, this is Killer Instinct 2, but in another improved version. I mention it because it's worth keeping in mind. With this thing about Xbox bringing all their games to PlayStation and Xbox basically ceasing to be Xbox. We're going to have a huge wave of Microsoft video games on Switch. 2. Remember what I'm telling you. Phil Spencer has already said that they are going to support Nintendo with this new console and they are going to publish everything. This is like the beginning that is very good for Nintendo users, obviously. From Nintendo, they commented that they have no intentions of using the resource of digital keys inside the boxes. Do you remember all that controversy? And according to Nintendo of America, it is only a resource for third-party publishers and developers. And Nintendo is always going to put the full games inside their cartridges. At least that's the promise they're making to us right now. Hideo Kojima is already thinking that at any moment he could die. And when he does die, he doesn't want his video game studio to be doing just anything. And he decided to leave his entire team a pen drive on which he will leave ideas for future games. I gave a USB memory stick with all my ideas to my personal assistant as if it were a will. Perhaps they can continue creating things at Kojima Productions after I die, said the good Hideo Kojima. He says that last year he got very sick, that he had a very serious health problem, and that he also had to have eye surgery and lost much of his vision. He has been using very thick glasses for a long time, but it appears his vision has worsened recently. Men admits he became a bit frightened by all this, realizing he is already over 60 years old. 61 if I'm not mistaken, and that he needs to start thinking. Perhaps not only about his retirement, but what will happen to his work, his art, when he's gone. He then decided to compile his ideas on a pen drive and give it to his assistant. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. Well, May is ending, and in just 2 weeks we are in the middle of 2025, and the spicy part is coming. June 5th, the Switch is launched, June 6th, the Summer Game Fest, June 7th, the Future Game Show, and June 8th, the Xbox Game Showcase. In addition to all this, it was confirmed that on June 7th we are going to have the Latin America Summer Game Fest with more than 50 Latin American video games. Obviously, I'm going to cover all these events, summaries, and other things here on the channel. And know that June is going to be very spicy. Resident Evil 9 will be presented this year and would be launched the following year, says insider and leaker Das Gallon. He claims he is absolutely certain of his statement. I also have a leak. Well, I will reveal it exclusively. I don't want you to get too excited, but I think I'm the only one who knows this. It's very likely that in December, Christmas will come. The following note is from an insider. Insiders are indispensable. Yes, Resident Evil will be presented this year and it will be released next year. Anyone who has more or less seen Capcom's financial reports, anyone who knows or analyzes how Capcom has been releasing its games these last few years, could bet money on that. You've witnessed the behavior of insiders. They tend to state the obvious, just to later claim credit for mentioning it first. Probably at the Game Awards we will see either a teaser or a trailer or the logo of Resident Evil 9 preparing next year's campaign. It's the most likely, and there's maybe a 90% chance that will happen. I also made that up. Since two golems make things up, I also say about the probability, nothing more. Take-Two updated the figures for the Red Dead Redemption 2 and commented that the game has already surpassed 74 million units sold since its launch in 2018. This information was shared by Take-Two itself, who gave official figures. This makes Red Dead Redemption 2 the second most successful video game from Rockstar, only behind obviously Grand Theft Auto 5. It is rumored around the internet that this year, at the end of 2025, an improved version of Red Dead Redemption 2 for Play 5 and Xbox Series would be released, along with the announcement of Nintendo Switch 2. An update for Red Dead Redemption 2 that would allow the game to run at 60 frames per second, with some quality of life improvements and more. For now, this is just a rumor, but it makes sense and carries weight. Rockstar has been publishing and re-releasing their games for a while now. They did it with the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, they did it with Red Dead Redemption 1. And considering that Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that sold so much and is so popular, releasing an improved or optimized version for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. It seems totally logical because they love money. And according to Game Reactor and their very own and secret sources, the game on Nintendo Switch 2 is a reality, and it's going to happen at the end of the year. Let's hope Red Dead Redemption 2 comes to Nintendo Switch 2, as that would be great. And that it runs well, and you can play the game perfectly in portable mode. And speaking of Rockstar, do you remember that last week, the famous Rockstar insider, what's his name again? He said that Grand Theft Auto 4 was going to have a new version, and many of us thought it was going to be a remaster or something like that. Well, the same insider commented again that no, it's not a remaster, it's going to be a port just like Red Dead Redemption. One that they made recently, that for now everything is still pure smoke, but that they are going to launch it from Rockstar, or rather from Take-Two. The chief executive officer of the entire parent company, which owns Rockstar, came out to say that for 2025 and 2026. Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't the only project in development. There are plans for other releases, which is officially confirmed. The chief executive officer of T2 confirmed this information. If not all of it is about Grand Theft Auto 6, what else could it be referring to? Well, a port of Grand Theft Auto 4, why not? And a port of... Rumor has it that Red Dead Redemption 2 is the next game to be launched, according to an insider source. Thank you very much to everyone who stopped by yesterday's video and left their comment about it. What do you think would be good for this format? And thank you very much to all the new subscribers of the Big Data Podcast. There were quite a few. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, the link is in the first comment. I hope today's video entertained you, you liked it, and of course, if so, let me know with a good like. It supports the channel a lot. Have a great weekend, play a lot, have a good time, love your loved ones, and see you on Monday. Bye.